Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, it wasn't pretty. That was very pretty, that block right there from Omar Stanley. Crowd's fired up. The players fired up. The final seconds tick off the clock. And the Boise State men's basketball team with a much-needed 69-64 win over North Texas. Welcome on into the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show. My name is BJ Rains. Hope you can hear me okay. Let me know if there's any issues with that. But we're having some fun here on the postgame show. Lithia Ford of Boise. Well, we're going to have some fun. We're just getting rolling. We are here in the Cutwater Studios down in the media seating in the corner of the arena. So we're hanging out here. We got Leon Rice to hear from. We got Chibuzo Abo. We got Max Rice. We got 4 minutes of highlights to show as well from Jaden Finch. So a lot to get to. And, of course, we want your comments and your thoughts after a 69-64 win. Boise State ends the game on an 11-0 run. And, again, wasn't the prettiest game, but according to Ken Pom, Boise State was only supposed to win by 3, and they won by 5. So you look at it that way, they actually ended up doing better than what they were supposed to do when you look at it from that standpoint. So it wasn't pretty. They're down 6 with about 2 minutes to go, and you're thinking, man, really they're going to lose at home to North Texas? Man, this is just really going to be a bad loss. And North Texas has to be leaving here for the long trip back to Denton, thinking how they let this one get away. I mean, you're up 6 on the road at Boise State, who's won 16 straight home games, and you can't close that out. I mean, huge comeback. That three-pointer that Chibuzo Abo hit was just absolutely massive. That was a massive three-pointer for Abo. That cut it to 1. They had the ball that went out of bounds, and they got the free throws from Tyson, and then you had just a couple huge defensive plays with the turnover there. And Boise State is able to pull it out and come back and get the win. Some big free throws there at the end of the game. Tyson Degenhart put him up with 42 seconds left. That was right after the steal that had with 51 seconds left went out of bounds. So we obviously have plenty of negatives to get to, which we will. You had 20 turnovers in this game. You had 15 offensive rebounds for North Texas. The point guard situation right now is not great. Roddy Anderson had 6 turnovers and only had a couple points, had 1 3-pointer. I don't know why Jace Whiting didn't play more. He only played 15 minutes, had 2 points, only 1 turnover. I thought things were okay when Jace was out there, but for whatever reason, he didn't play much. You had some foul trouble, so you had a lineup later in the game with R.J. Keene, Andrew Meadow both on the court together, and then you had the big 3, Tyson, Max, and Chibuzo Abo, and Max Rice is still struggling from the field. 1 for 8 tonight, 1 for 5 from 3. Had a couple layoffs, rim off. I mean, you can just tell Max is obviously not feeling great shooting the ball right now. But as I say, he's got the stats on the back of the baseball card. He's gonna get hot here pretty soon. You'd like to see it happen here pretty soon though, because he's in a prolonged shooting slump here. And but as Leon Rice said in the postgame, the numbers will correct themselves and be where they're supposed to be at the end of the season, which means he's got a lot of makes coming. So that is something that they hope comes pretty soon though, because Max played almost 34 minutes tonight. Did hit some huge free throws down the stretch though, had a big steal as well. So Max is trying to help out in other ways, even though the shots aren't falling right now. You look at some of the other stats here. I mean, the player of the game, we'll get to the Matt Boucher Real Estate player of the game, probably has to be Chibuzo Abo, 27 points for Abo. And then Degenhardt had 19 points. But have you ever seen a guy, I mean, he has to lead the country maybe in the 4-point plays. I mean, 2 more in the first half, makes the 3, gets fouled, makes the free throw, 2 4-point plays in the first half. I'm not sure how often I've ever seen that before. So that was huge, because Boise State was really struggling to score. And, North Texas is one of the better defensive teams in the country. So it wasn't, obviously easy offensively for Boise State, but they still, get to 69 points, a nice total there, with against a defensive team that is one of the best ones in the country. But Boise State was 20 of 26 from the foul line. That certainly helped. You had 9 of 22 from 3-point range as well. So there were some, positive stats for Boise State here. And obviously the most important one is the win. Again, they were down 64-58 with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. They end the game on an 11-0 run to storm back and win the game there. So this team is better than what they've shown. Schedule's been brutal. Yeah, they're probably going to be up to like top 10 in the country in toughest schedule right now. And so they, that's certainly going to help. I mean, you can win some games here. The next 3 games should be pretty much easy wins before you go to Washington State, and then you got Washington State and Utah Valley to finish out non-conference. I mean, there's a real chance they could be 10-3. They can win those 2 games. At worst, 9-4. I mean, 9-4 non-con, playing a top 10 schedule. That's certainly not the worst thing in the world out there. So. It's I know some of you would have liked to have had. Stop moving there, Jaden. You're shaking my camera here. Not literally, but it's sure. Would you like to have won 1 or 2 more games on that East Coast trip? Sure, but it is what it is, and the record is what it is. But I still think they're in a pretty good spot, 5-3 now, and they have a chance to rack off some wins here. And they've got 4 top 100 wins already. I guess technically the VCU one's down to 102, but you've got 3 quality wins. San Francisco is 71 at Ken Palm. St. Mary's is 70, and North Texas is 79. And then VCU is 103. So 4 wins already in the top 103. I mean, that's certainly nothing to be sad about or write home about. I thought that was I think that they're in a fine spot. They're in a fine spot. They're starting to get things rolling here. And like I said, the next 3 games here should be easy wins. So you're going to look up and be 7-3. I guess you're 5-3 now, so 8-3 going up to Wazoo probably. That's going to be a big game going up there. But let's see some of your comments, some of your thoughts on this one, the ICCU YouTube chat. And again, we appreciate Jaden Finch. He's been a busy man the last couple of days. Helped us with the press conference yesterday. Rode the bus down to Vegas, and so I told him he could have had the game off. He said, "Nope, I'll be there." So we appreciate Jaden for coming out and helping tonight. And you're going to see his highlight package here in just a little bit. But the ICCU YouTube chat, we'll get to some of those here. And Jaden, is this your Mac? Oh, I guess is this your Mac charger? Okay. Well, someone left their Mac charger here. We'll see whose that is. But let's see what you got here. Nice win. We got season saver, scary. North Texas team is physical. That was a slugfest. Ugly game, but a win nonetheless. North Texas fans on Twitter seem to be handling it well. I'm guessing they're not. Buzo was on fire. Crazy, great win. Certain player on the team is struggling. I'm sure you're talking about Max Rice. And yeah, you're going to hear from Max Rice. I asked Leon Rice about it. We talked to Max about it. I mean, obviously he is struggling right now. There's no way about it. But you don't just bench a 60-year senior who's an all-Mountain West player because he's had a couple, rough couple of games shooting. He has to shoot his way out of it, and he will. And he's in a slump right now. And I'm predicting here in the next couple of games, against far subpar competition, he's going to get back on track and get it rolling. Wouldn't surprise me on Saturday if Max hits about 5 threes. So, he'll get going. He'll get going here, but I think it certainly has been, a slower start than he would have liked to this point in the season. 0 capable backcourt player, Roddy, Jason, Max, all look awful. Talking about the turnovers, got dominated on the glass. San Diego State lost to Grand Canyon. I didn't see that, but wow, how about that? Grand Canyon's a tough place to play, but I didn't see that they had lost that. Wow. Lucky you won that game. Can't win with that many turnovers, that effort when it comes to rebounding. Mountain West teams are going to feast if we can't correct that. The rebounding has been an issue. They got dominated on the boards by Clemson, and then tonight to give up, again, 15 offensive rebounds in North Texas. The final rebounding numbers were 34-25, so a 9-point edge on the glass. And you go look at the defensive rebounding numbers for Boise State, which typically are among the worst in the country. Boise State, let's see here, 121st on defense. Defensive rebounding, they're 121st, and offensive rebounding, they're 336. So the rebounding has not been great so far to start the season. Quality win, overcame a lot of mistakes, showed some guts. Abbo was amazing. Yeah, I mean, Chris, that's kind of the name of the game. Tonight it was just about survive and advance, and it didn't have to be super pretty, and it wasn't. But again, it was a 5-point win, and actually Ken Palm only had him predicted to win by 3, so you did better than you were supposed to from that standpoint. So nice win for Boise State, and again, that 69-64 was the final. Great final 1 to 2 minutes. Need to take the L on Roddy and bring in a veteran point guard in the portal, not the answer. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of season left. Not going to quite give up on Roddy Anderson yet, but certainly I don't think he's had the impact or played to this point like they probably thought he would. I don't think anyone's, but Leon talked about it. It's just a long season, and and they still feel he's going to get a lot better here in the next couple of months, and we'll be kind of looking back and saying, look how much improvement he's made. So we'll see. But to this point, I don't think it's crazy to say that he's underperformed to this point than what the expectations were. Chris says he's young. He'll be fine. Can't underestimate how good of a defensive team North Texas is. Let's see. Excited to see Boise State athletics grow. Known for a decade about football, and now basketball has come a long way as well. By the way, Spencer Danielson spoke to the crowd. If you guys want to hear that, it was about 3 minutes. We can play that here later in the show. Spencer Danielson spoke to the crowd, and I also spoke one-on-one with Spencer Danielson, Boise State's head coach. I was going to wait and play that on the morning show tomorrow, but we've got 145 people watching this, and it's still growing. So maybe we go ahead and play the Spencer Danielson interview tonight. I got him one-on-one back in the media room at halftime. So maybe we'll get to that as well. But if you want to hear the halftime speech, we can certainly play that. The football team also came out and got a standing ovation. Ashton Genty was here and had the trophy and raised it up, and he got loud cheers. So kind of a fun night with both basketball and football. And again, Boise State gets the win. We can play some highlights here and talk about these as we're seeing these here. And again, Jaden Finch, Cam Martin there got it going early with the putback. I'm going to restart it because I started late and I messed it up. But a rare miss for him, but Cam Martin was able to get the ball back and score. Nice reverse layup there for Cam Martin. Again, it just seems like Boise State's still trying to figure out some of the rotations, figure out some of these guys. But Cam Martin early in the game was really doing some things and had a couple nice buckets there. He finished with 5 points. Boise State, another turnover there, 1 of their 20. North Texas, man, early on, North Texas was hitting some shots and doing some things. And Roddy Anderson hit the corner 3 there. That was his only bucket of the game, but that was a big bucket at the time that Boise State really needed. Cam Martin over in the corner finds Abbo again, and there's the 4-point play. The 3 plus the 1 for Cam Martin. That was for Kabuzo Abbo, and he did that twice in this game. Nice backdoor there from R.J. Keene for the layup. That was a really nice pass there as well from Omar Stanley. Case Whiting with the layup there. I don't know why he didn't play more in the second half. I know you guys are mentioning his defense, but I think Keenan Meadow brings some athleticism to this team. Nice up and under there. Nice left-handed layup from Tyson Degenhardt. Again, 19 points for Tyson. He had a couple of huge shots in this game. But North Texas just wasn't going away. North Texas was impressive tonight. I think they're going to win a lot of games this year. I mean, they lost their coach. They lost their best player from a team that won the NIT last year. Another 3 from Abbo. Again, he was 6 of 9 from downtown, 7 of 11 from the field. And he Played 38 minutes and 21 seconds tonight. Also a 7 of 11 from the foul line. 27 for Chibuzo Abo. And how about Max Rice? Making his only 3 of the game there. Again, he was 1 for 5 from 3, 1 for 8 from the field. And that's his first made 3 in 4 games. He had gone 3 games without a made 3. So maybe that can get him going. But again, another 3 from North Texas. They just keep hanging around. Nice little, I don't even know what kind of shot to call that from Andrew Meadow. That was his only bucket. That was a nice shot there, though, that they needed at that point. That was a big 3 from Abo late in the first half, I believe. But here we go, tie game. 64-64, Tyson Degenhart gets both free throws to go. Boise State takes the lead by 1. North Texas has a chance here. Open 3 from the corner, but it bricks off. Boise State gets the rebound. Max Rice makes both of his free throws. I think that's coming up here. And again, Jaden Finch, our intern, he's a college student at Boise State, took all these clips and put the package together for us. So major thanks to Jaden Finch. He's a student at Boise State doing an outstanding job for us. Another missed shot. Omar Stanley gets the rebound there. He seals the game with his 2 free throws. Had Eric Curry, the Bill Clinton ref tonight, by the way. So Omar hits both. That makes it 69-64. There you see it on the clock with 8.6 seconds left. And then this huge block from Stanley kind of puts the game was pretty much already over at that point, but he's fired up. Huge block. Time runs out. And Boise State comes back to wins it 69-64. Nice comeback win for Boise State there again after being down by 6 points with like 2 minutes to go. They finished the game on an 11-0 run. So major props to Boise State for coming back to pull that one off. Got to love the Buzo schedule, Buzo special Buzo. Bill wants Max coming off the bench. I don't think we're quite there yet, but if he keeps struggling against some of this subpar performance, at some point, maybe we get to that point. But if with some of these subpar teams they're playing, I don't think you have to worry about that. Right. I think he's going to get it rolling here pretty soon. I still have a lot of confidence in Max Rice. North Texas, really athletic, quicker. Reminded me of the San Diego State game, 12-0 run. The arena takes over in those last few minutes. Going to be huge this season. Omar came through in the last minute. He's intimidating. That is 17 straight wins, by the way, at home. Number 5 longest home winning streak in the country. Didn't look pretty today at all. Let's see what else. Max is going to have to get it figured out, no doubt. Hasn't had a good game yet this season. Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. I don't really have a reason for it or an excuse or anything. I mean, or what's going on there. It has not been great for Max, but his track record says he's going to turn it around, and you got to just hope that's going to happen. Salty North Texas fans on Twitter right now. What are they saying? I haven't seen anything. What are they saying? Holly says, Buzo's been our most consistent guy game after game. Thanks for the comment there, Holly. Appreciate you for watching. Yeah, he has been. He's kind of their go-to guy right now. 27 points for him. He had 20, I think, in the first half or early in the second half, and he was really cooking. Tyson had some big shots, too, and he had 19 points. Terrible reffing. The foul totals were 17-18. Boise State got 7 more free throw attempts. They called a technical foul on North Texas. I'm not really sure what the guy said to get the technical foul, by the way. San Diego State almost choked to UCSD last week also. Wake up Ken Pomeroy to update his rankings. He did do that already. I think it's already updated with that win. Probably get an angrier version of San Diego State later in the season. Yeah, probably so. Let's see. Yeah, folks want me to play that. Yes, play it. Yes, please play it here for the Spencer Danielson interview. So yes, we will. We will play the Spencer Danielson interview here, or I guess we'll play the halftime speech. But I actually I need to get that in the system. That takes time for me to put from my phone into the computer. So that's actually a good timing. Let me go ahead and let's take a 90-second commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're thanking some of our sponsors. Go get another Cutwater if you'd like. We are in the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios here at ExtraMile Arena. I'm going to get the Spencer Danielson video loaded up. 90-second break. We'll be right back here on Bronco Nation News. We're still going to hear from Max Rice as well. Going to hear from Chibuzo Abo and Leon Rice. We got interviews to come, and we'll hear from Spencer Danielson as well. So a lot to get to. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. CUI more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, back here on the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. Boise State wins this one again. Final score was 69-64. We got some player interviews we're going to get to. We got Max Rice and Chibuzo Abo. We got Leon Rice still to hear from. You guys want to hear from Spencer Danielson as well. We can hear his speech to the crowd at halftime. But again, this is the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. By the way, the NIL appearance, Boise State scheduled a practice, so we were telling you about an event from 12 to 4 at Lithia Ford of Boise on Saturday, but the football team is now practicing, so they're unable to make it. So no NIL event this week at Lithia Ford of Boise, but we appreciate them, and looking forward to hearing from Max Rice and Chibuzo Abo. Let's do that now. We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson, Leon Rice coming up, but here's Max Rice, Chibuzo Abo. Again, Abo had 27 points. Max Rice was 7 points as well as 3 assists. So let's hear from 2 members of the Big Three after the win over North Texas. You guys have 20 turnovers. You give up 15 offensive rebounds, but I mean, you find a way to win the game on an 11-0 run. I mean, how badly did you need that win, and how were you guys able to pull it out?
I feel like that just would have been a terrible one to lose, and we just really didn't want to lose that one. So going that 11-0 run was huge. And, there's definitely going to be a lot of games like that where it comes down to the last 4 minutes, 3 minutes. So I think that was good for us.
Max, what happened there in the final 2 minutes? What you guys were able to turn it on late?
Yeah, it's kind of a blur. I remember looking up with 2 minutes. I think they had the ball and we were down 8, and I was like, uh-oh. We haven't been in this position very many times at home. So we kind of huddled up and we're like, it's now or never, fellas. Like, we're down 8 with 2 minutes left. Let's put the press on and do whatever we can to get this win. And that's kind of sparked our little run there. And Diggy got his hands on a couple deflections, and you look up and we're tied. So it was a great finish right there.
I know they're obviously a quality team, but what was kind of the issue for a good chunk of the game, just really kind of trying to get things going?
I feel like we're having our own self-caused problems. We had a lot of turnovers. That was a huge one. Just communicating defensively, we had a couple more stops we could have gotten. So just self-errors that I think we fixed towards the end.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the teams we played this year, they're all super good defensively, and I think our opponent efficiency on D is like top 10 in the country, as well as our strength of schedule. So just got to keep going, and I think we have a nice little home stretch here to rack up some wins.
To be able to win a game where you guys are out rebounded by 9, you turned the ball over 20 times, what does that do to, just to say, you can still win games and got out wins like this? Yeah,
I think Buzo gets credit for that one. I think he had 27 points on like 5 shots and like 6 and 1 threes or something. So we'll give you credit for this win.
I think it was a response because, Coach is always talking about response with us. It's not what happens, it's how you respond to it. We weren't playing well, and then we just responded and we started playing.
Buzo took me through those two 4-point plays in the first half. Really kept you guys in the game.
Yeah, I mean, everybody calls me a flopper for that, but it's more of a safety thing. I jump really high on my threes, and then I know when they're in my space, so I don't want to land on somebody's foot and roll my ankle. So when they're in my space, I just fall, and it's usually a foul.
Buzo, I mean, so that's kind of what you're working on. I mean, you're probably leading the nation in 4-point plays,
No
4-point
question.
play opportunities. I mean, did you study that? Like, how did you incorporate that into your game?
No, it just kind of happened. Like I was saying, like kind of a safety thing. Like when guys get into my space, I don't want to roll ankle or something, so I started just falling, and I realized the refs are gonna have to call it when they're in my space, and it happens a lot. So
Max, with the way he's shooting, are you going to maybe try that this year?
Yeah, jump higher and make a couple. Yeah, I'll take notes on that. But the and 1 threes, I've seen a couple guys in college that get calls like that. Like the Martin twins used to get a lot. I remember that. And now Buzo's the new and 1 3 guy. So it's your new title.
Max, how do you put the season you're having into perspective? We all know you're just a way better shooter than this.
Yep.
What's going on, dude?
I mean, just been missing right now, but my teammates, they trust me, they believe in me just as I believe in myself. It's a good opportunity for me to pour into some of those young guys and not just care about myself, you know. I've been here a long time and long enough time to know that I'm going to have lows and I'm going to have highs, and I'm a confident shooter. I'm going to keep shooting, and all I care about is the wins at this point. So I think staying confident is the only thing I can do at this point.
Buzo, can you walk me through the emotion of getting that 3 at the end and put it within 1, and then what it was like to see you guys were getting the ball back and just ride it out to victory at the end of it?
yeah, I seen he went under the screen, so I was like, I gotta shoot this, and win. And I was hyped, and I saw we got the ball back, and I was like, we got a chance to really win this. So that was a very emotional roller coaster, but it was fun.
Buzo, what are you seeing from Max? You all seen him have crazy games and hit a ton of shots, and it's a little bit of a struggle for him right now. But what are you seeing as a teammate?
I mean, we all know he's going to get it started. Great shooter, shoots it great during practice. But I think the biggest thing is he's just been, like he said, pouring into young guys. He's been a vet, very vocal, and just trying to help us win. And when he gets started, it's just going to make us even better.
Max, how do you? I know you said you got to just keep shooting, but I mean, it did seem at times you had some open looks, and maybe you were looking to facilitate other guys. How do you, when you're struggling as a shooter, like fight that urge to want to keep shooting and want to, maybe pass them up?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think like finding the balance. If a guy's hot, you got to keep going to Buzo. You know, it'd be dumb to just start forcing. I think I took about the perfect amount of shots tonight. I should have made a layup in the first half, another steal layup in the second half, and I would have been 4 for 8, something like that. So just got to stay positive and find the guys in the right spots. Deggy was cooking down low, so I think the biggest thing is staying confident, and the shots will start to fall.
You guys think, I mean, I know the record maybe isn't what some people wanted, what you guys wanted, but you look at what you mentioned, Max, some winnable games coming up here, and with the schedule you played, I mean, do you guys still feel like you're in a pretty good spot here?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Go ahead, you can take it, Bruce.
I think we played some really good teams. It would have been nice to win a couple more of those games, but I think it's just made us better as a team. And now we got a good stretch at home. We're going to win a bunch of games. And I think all around our strength schedule has just made us a better team and challenged us.
Yeah, I think after this game, I think our strength of schedule will be top 10 in the country or close to it, with a couple more good games coming up. So
Still a long way to March, but if you guys do find yourself on that bubble, how important will this win be?
Huge. Yeah.
I hope huge. Yeah, I hope they do well. They're going to do well in their conference, so it'll be good. And plus, our conference has done really good in the non-con, so we'll have a lot of opportunities ahead as well.
You said at the beginning, Buzo would have been a terrible loss to have. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Like I said, North Texas is a quality team. They were 75 in numbers, but I mean, just in terms of trying to get some momentum rolling here, and at some point being a mid-major team, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You can't have too many losses.
Right.
And how when you guys were kind of struggling, and crowd was kind of getting antsy, and it just wasn't going great. I mean, how were you? How frustrating was that? And I guess how did you kind of find that switch to be able to kind of finish?
I think we just stuck with it throughout. We kind of had, like I was talking about, ourselves errors on our own, and then, I think, I don't even know.
We'll take our record any day of the week. You're old enough to remember the 2-4 start with losses to Bakersfield and a couple others, and we got, an 8 seed that year? We're going to be just fine.
Max, what do you think about your classmate Ashton Genty on the football side getting the NIL and he's staying here and just the buzz that's coming with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he deserves all the love he's getting right now. To stay in Boise shows a lot of character, and you see a lot of guys leaving in times like these, and what a great guy to just stay here, and everyone loves him, and Heisman campaign starting, I saw that, and he's a great dude, too. I've seen him all over the place out in the community, so he's one of my good buddies.
He's cold.
Yeah, and he's
tough.
Best running back in the country.
It makes it now 17 home wins in a row. It's one of the longest streaks in the country. And I think when you look at the crowd, there's more people here this time of year than there were last time of year. What is the buzz around this team mean to you guys, and how important is it to keep that streak going?
I mean, I love the program. You know, the guys before me, you know, they always talk about Abu. Abu will text me, show me love. So it's just, I feel like our program is just being built up year by year, and I feel like we have a lot of pride in that. And I think the fans do too.
Yeah, I've been here a long time, and every year I think it's grown, and people care more every year too. Like you can just feel the energy in the building, especially down the stretch there. You're like, wow, we got a nice crowd going here, and they're loud too. I think they've gotten louder every year, and they definitely got our back, so we appreciate them.
There they are, Chibuzo Abo and Max Rice, speaking to the media after the game. And again, if you missed part of that and came in late, then you can watch that. We've already got it up on the YouTube channel as well. We got Leon Rice to go. We still have Spencer Danielson that we'll hear from as well. So we got more of your comments, more of your comments and things on here. We're at 31 minutes. We can keep this thing rolling if you guys want to. So another quick 90-second timeout to thank some of our sponsors, and we'll hear from Leon Rice and next, as well as your comments. And again, Spencer Danielson speaking to the crowd at halftime still to come as well. A ton to get to. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds on Bronco Nation News. Lithia Florida Boise postgame show after a 69-64 win over North Texas. Be right back. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at tacobellworks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State Athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, back here on the post-game show, we'll try to get some more of your comments here, and then we'll get to Leon Rice as well as Spencer Danielson. We'll do that as well. By the way, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., John Mallory and I will be live at Stein Distributing. We'll be in the bar at Cutwater, in the bar at Stein Distributing with Cutwater. I don't think we'll be having any at 9 a.m., but we'll be there. So make sure 9 a.m. tomorrow, you don't miss Bronco Nation News Live. We're looking forward to that. 9 a.m. tomorrow, Bronco Nation News Live will be John Mallory and I talking Ashton Genty, talking Danielson, talking football, talking this win some more. A lot to get to. 9 a.m. tomorrow Mountain Time on Bronco Nation News Live. So let's see. 15 fouling out was huge. Loudest the crowd got until the last 3 minutes was when the football team was honored. Totally agree with that. They got super loud. And I actually have that clip, too, that I could probably put in here. We'll play the Spencer Danielson one. Genty at point. Oh, Sky Ship wants Genty in to bring the ball up the court. Got him milked to $300,000. Genty at point guard would be insane. I wonder if he's ever played basketball back in the day. Need to clean up the turnovers. Also got handed to us on the glass. Yeah, the final rebounding numbers were 34-25, and again 15 offensive rebounds for North Texas. So that's way too many. A shot at Eric Curry the Bill Clinton ref. Let's see. 69-64. That was a nice score, as Nathaniel says. Love the atmosphere in the pavilion when it gets going. What was up with all the hugging circles by North Texas? I didn't see all that. Had to do a double take with that text. Who's transferring? No, that was actually not the case. Just my wife was texting me. Let's see here. Boise State owns North Texas. One of them is saying the North Texas fans are saying they paid the refs to win. Okay. Roddy Anderson, 6 turnovers to 1 assist. Yeah, that wasn't great. Ken Palm includes the game. Check the record. Yeah, it does. They're 83 in Ken Palm. Let's see. Longest home winning streak in program history. They're at 17 now. I got to think they're getting fairly close to that. I guess 19. There it is. 19 in 1999. And they should break that. The next 3 are at home against not very good teams. So they should get to 20 in a row at home probably. So let's see. Even Abbo's getting called a flopper by his teammates. Abbo was talking about that. That's funny in the post game. Let's see. Max was getting rocked all night. Yeah, he hit his head pretty hard. And then there was another time he fell down as well. But again, I thought he did some nice things. Let's hear from Leon Rice. We'll hear from the head coach, and then we're going to play Spencer Danielson after that. But let's get to a couple more comments here. Derek says, big time win versus one of the tougher defenses we'll see all year. Cool to hear Abu still messaging the team. Miss that dude. Yeah. Buzo signed my 6-year-old jersey tonight and told us Abu was his guy. I love the Bronco Brotherhood. The attendance was announced as 9,865. 9,865. A really nice attendance. There was fans in the third deck. Certainly wasn't full, but it was another nice, lively crowd. Let's see. Him and Stanley were the only two to come give us high fives in Idaho Falls. Let's see here. Jeff Choate, Nevada in great hands. Andy Hill was pretty close. We'll have to see. 75-68. I'll have to go check. I think you might have been the closest. We'll have to check on that, Andy. But let's hear from Leon Rice. And again, we still have Spencer Danielson to go. But here's Leon Rice after the game.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, a lot of times you guys think I'm Lou Holtz in it. And I think your eyes would tell you differently. That was a really, really good team that we found a way to finish. And what a game. And, you've heard me talk about this team and the character in that room. And character shows up when adversity hits. And adversity hit in a lot of ways for us tonight. And there was a lot of teams that wouldn't have found a way to win that game. And, we'll never apologize for a win. And it's a lot more fun to learn from winning than have to learn from losing. And but I'm just really proud of them, just to stay in the fight, stay in the fight, stay in the fight. And when you do that, and we kept turning it and trying to find different lineups and the right combinations, and and then you dealt with a little bit of foul trouble with the bigs, and again, that we got to clear that up. And then just the turnover problem we had, at the guard spot, and we got some inexperience there, and that kind of experience is priceless. And so there'll be a lot of film watching, a lot of growth, and that's how you grow. And like I said, when you have high character guys that want to get better and want to do better, and they will.
So it was 6 with 2:15 to go. I think you're down 6. And
yeah.
You were just kind of staring off into the crowd and looked like you were just really frustrated, kind of thinking what
was
happening
yes.
here. Maybe you wanted to, but what was at that point? I guess.
At that point, I'm thinking, I squeeze it, I get no lemonade. Like that's, you're just trying to keep turning it over. And as far as not turning it over, that was what we were trying not to do, but turning the lineup, find the right combinations, because some combinations were working a little bit defensively and then wouldn't work offensively. And then some would work offensively and wouldn't work defensively. And so, we just kept trying to find different ways to make a lineup work and matchup work. And then we threw the press out and got really aggressive, and that was great. And then, I was really proud of Omar because he was in a lot of foul trouble. Things hadn't gone his way all night, and he gave us some big minutes down the stretch with his presence and his, body. And then, Max made a really heady play to stop that ball on that last possession and make them kick it because they were hard, kind of goes against what we do a little bit, but that's the feel for the game. Like he made them make a jump shot instead of just getting to the rim because that guy was going to get to the rim, kicked it to the corner, and Max sprinted to close him out. And we were fortunate that he missed it. But that's a great, I told you that was a really good team. They only have 2 losses. Their 2 losses were St. John's, and they had a shot to win it. And LSU, they dominated a major portion of that game. They just had a little bit down the stretch, a little bad luck. And, they're going to win a lot of games. And we had to beat them. They weren't going to give us that game. And somehow we found a way in the last 2 minutes. And, just by staying in the fight. That's what we always talk about. And so it was a really cool night to have the football team here and the excitement of all that stuff and their great accomplishments. And then have Bronco Nation. I mean, that was the difference in the game, too, at the end. They felt the crowd and we felt the crowd, and it was exciting. People got their money's worth again at ExtraMile. And, I may die on the sidelines from a heart attack, but it's probably worth it if you get the win, right?
To win a game like this where you guys were out-rebounded by 9,
Yeah.
turned the ball over 20 times, still found a way to win. What does that say about this team and their willingness not to quit?
Yeah, and just because that feels frustrating, and it's frustrating for them. And we got our, it's frustrating for me at times, but we got ourselves back to center and okay. That doesn't matter now. That's what we talked about in the huddle. None of that matters. Now let's go find a way to win it. We'll fix all that other stuff later. That's for down the road, and we can do that. But here's the deceiving thing. We turned over 20 times, but we only lost the turnover battle by 1. And, that we played some pretty good defense in stretches and in stretches when we needed it most.
How many guys hit 2 and 1 threes in a game?
He's got to have the record in the country. I mean, was it 2? It seemed like it was 3 or 4. I mean, it was, how many was it? I don't know.
Are you seeing that in practice?
Yeah. But we in practice, you got to be a little more careful because, you don't want, I mean, it's a rule to protect the shooters. You can't come under him. And he elevates so high and his shot's so high that the only way you can kind of bother a shot is kind of come into him. And, that's the rule. You got to let the guy land. And a lot of times they don't because they're trying to get into him and he's elevating. He doesn't fade out of it. And he shoots it right. And teams are so worried about his threes, they come into him. To score 27 points on 11 shots couldn't be more efficient. Couldn't. There's guys that'll get 27, but it'll take them 20 shots to do it. And that's just so impressive. 27 points, 4 rebounds. I couldn't get him and Tyson out at all to give them a rest, and but they're just such tough guys. Do you want to be tired or do you want to win? And they don't want to be tired. They're going to find a way.
Leon, it feels like he could play almost all 5 positions for you right now, at least 1 through 4. It feels like he's taking that next step. Like if he's in the NBA, he's a 2 guard, and he looks like an NBA 2 guard.
Yeah.
His versatility. I mean, you can really play him. Maybe kind of like an Abu.
Yeah, they're a lot different though because Abu's stuff was power to the rim, and Buzo has that. But Buzo's an elite shooter. What was he from the line tonight? 6 for 9. And how about that last one? That was, if he doesn't make that, we don't win. And that was so clutch. But it goes to, I saw that competitive toughness that I've seen out of Tyson, Max, and Buzo. I saw those 3, and I think that got permeated through the team down the stretch. They were like, well, these guys aren't going to let us lose. Well, let's get on board too. And when we get, everybody playing their best, which we're not even close to yet, and playing the right way together, he's got a chance to be a good team, but we got to make a big jump. I said there's room for 40% in getting better. And, this team can get a lot better, and then they can be really good. But we can't be good until 20 turnovers and figuring, the guard play out a little bit. And they will. They will. I have a lot of faith in those guys.
Max hit some big free throws, and they say he's doing some other things, but he was talking about just the frustration with the shooting, woes, I guess. But how do you get him going? I guess it's coming at some point here soon.
Yeah, it's coming. I think getting back here, and he had some sickness on the road when we were fighting through that, and I think a game like this just gets him back into that flow of just competing. When he just competes his tail off, and that's when the ball goes in for him, and it will. It will. I mean, some of his misses just rattled in and out. It's just a weird game sometimes that it goes like that, and then all of a sudden it'll just go whack, whack, whack. So those are coming. We all know that. We've seen all this stuff before, especially when you have the knowns. Tyson, Buzo, Max are the knowns. And it doesn't mean they're going to be perfect every night, but, when the numbers, when the year ends, the numbers will be where they're supposed to be.
Does it make it even give you more confidence? We were talking to Max, and you've been saying this for years, but even sometimes if maybe the best play is for Max to shoot a three, he'll always make that second pass.
Yeah.
And maybe even tonight he had some opportunities to get himself going.
Yeah, and no doubt.
That just gives you confidence. He's still
right. He still has the feel, and early a bunch of those Buzo threes were because they're a really tough defensive team on the ball and strong side. Max skipped it across to Buzo, a couple great plays, and got him shots. He got him a lot of shots with the way he skipped the ball out of there, and got it to Buzo's side a couple times. So I thought. I thought he did. They have him for 3 assists, but I thought a couple times he got it out of there, maybe even to the top of the key, and it got swung to Buzo because he got it out of there. He just has such a good feel that it makes the guys around him better.
We've talked a lot about how your schedule is going to look good at the end of the season.
It will.
Just getting this win, what's it going to mean for your resume?
Yeah.
Maybe a seat or two higher, depending on where you guys are sitting.
Well, that's a lot of water under the bridge till that. That's just
But just how good ball.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing. Like, we just beat St. Mary's, a team that a lot of people picked to go to the Final Four, and St. Mary's is going to win 9 out of the next 10, maybe more. Worst case, probably 8 out of 10, and you're going to look and go, wow, that number helps you. That's good. And I think this is the team we played tonight has got that kind of, that they're in a good basketball league, and they're going to win a lot of games, as you can see. They're going to be a hard out.
Roddy had 6 turnovers tonight. You mentioned this point guard trying to get that going.
Yeah.
How do you get that going?
Well, we spend a lot of time watching film, a lot of time coaching, a lot of time, and those guys are willing. They're listening, and they're, but his athleticism helps us, but then it's got to help us. It can't hurt us at times. Against a team like that, it's a team similar to Texas A&M last year as far as the way they play, and we had success last year because we played so under control against A&M. And, his speed, the game speeds up, and they're good when they speed you up like that. And so you just got, that's experience, be able to play slow when he needs to play slow, get by somebody and then slow down the mind and know what picture you're looking at. And it's just a lot of reps doing it and a lot of watching video with it. But, that's what we're here for, the coaches, to make him better. And the guy you saw tonight, my vision is in a couple months, you'll be like, man, think how much better he is now against this press than what he was against those guys. That's development, and that's maturity, and that's our job to coach.
I know it necessarily didn't show up in the stat sheet, but with Keene and Meadow, you had the big 3, and then Keene and Meadow, the 5 of them out there together for a while.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned foul trouble and stuff, but what do you like in terms of the athleticism versus size when you play Keene and Meadow together?
Yeah, and Keene has a good feel. He's just got to get more experience. Like, they switched on the ball screen, he got caught in the air and threw it and turned it over. He's just got to calm down too. But he's a freshman and hasn't played for 2 years or 2.5 years. So you got to kind of lived through some of that, and it's a lot easier to live through it when you win than when it costs you a game, and it didn't.
There's Leon Rice. We appreciate him for joining us on the Lithia Florida Boise postgame show, his postgame press conference there again after a 69-64 win for Boise State. Watching live in Malawi. Appreciate that. Might be our most unique spot so far we've done a broadcast that we see there. So let's see. Can say on the bright side, the tough schedule exposes some issues can be addressed before conference starts. That's what Leon is kind of saying. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what other comments we got. We're going to hear from text Bush and ask what all the clock stuff. Are they doing it again? I know they did it this morning, and that obviously had to do with the announcement for Ashton Genty. I wonder if they're doing that again for Talon Green. I haven't seen that. Is that new? Colorado State, that is they're talking about how good they are right now. They're 13th. Yeah, they're playing pretty well. Best Mountain West team. The X needs to be rocking. Going to be a sellout on the 9th. Why did North Texas get the technical foul? I still don't know the answer to that one. He must have said something to Mike Reed, but Mike Reed had a pretty quick technical foul there. So let's see. He posted the hourglass followed by 30. Folks saying it was something else. That was Genty. That was this morning, I believe. Yeah, Derek says that was time, and then 30 minutes was 30 before noon, and then Genty announcement hit. So yeah, that was Genty. Let's see what else we got here. I want to get to Spencer Danielson as well. Let's see. Leon has been pumping iron. Those sleeves are getting tight. That's funny. All right, so we've talked plenty of football. Again, 69-64 is the win for Boise State. You had 27 for Abbo, 19 for Degenhart. Boise State goes 20 of 26 from the foul line, 9 of 22 from three-point range. That's 41%, and 20 of 45 overall. And that is field goal percentage for the game was 44.4%. Again, they did have 20 turnovers and only 12 assists. That's not good. But again, North Texas had 19 turnovers and only 6 assists. So Boise State was able, despite all the struggles, despite getting out-rebounded by out-rebounded 34-25, out-rebounded by 9. Wasn't the perfect win for Boise State. It wasn't pretty for most of the game, but again, they end up winning by more than the Ken Pom projection. They get a gritty win that could pay off down the road because North Texas is probably going to have a pretty good computer number. And you, as Leon said, the best way is when you win a game like that, but still know you have a lot of areas you can improve. It's much easier to teach and have guys, and more fun to improve when you're winning the game than when you're losing the game. So nice win for Boise State. They're 5-3 on the season. They got 3 very winnable games coming up, starting with Western Oregon, or I believe it's Western Oregon, coming up on Saturday. Let's do this. We'll take our final 90-second commercial break, thank our last group of sponsors, 90 minutes, and when we get back here, we will play the Spencer Danielson interview and the Spencer Danielson on the field with the crowd. So don't go anywhere. We'll talk a little football right after this. Back in 90 seconds on Bronco Nation News. You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Give them a call, 229-8222. Bronco Nation News, a proud client of United Commercial Insurance. We highly recommend you do as well at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. The Raines family is happy to have made the switch to Boise Dentistry Co. Highly recommend you do as well. Dr. Miner and his staff, full family dentistry for the whole family. They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist, and we highly recommend you check them out. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. You may think you're happy with your dentist. You'll be even happier if you make the switch to Dr. Miner and Company. Check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually. That's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out. Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. Playtimberstone.com. I guess I said 90 minutes instead of 90 seconds, so I apologize for that. But how far has Bronco Nation News come? Is at 11 p.m. It is a Tuesday night after a basketball game, and we've been on the air for 55 minutes, and we still have 131 of you watching this. So it just shows how far we've come. Super appreciative. Really appreciate all you guys that have stuck with us. 130 of you. We had games last year with like 20 or 25 people watching at this point. So to have 130 people still on at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday after we've been on the air for 55 minutes says a lot about where this program has come, but where BNN has come. And we're very appreciative to all of you guys that have found us and joined our channel. If you want to subscribe on the YouTube channel, if you're not already a YouTube subscriber, we'd love to have you. It's youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. If you're watching on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button there in the bottom of the screen. Our channel has continued to add subscribers at a rapid rate, so we're very appreciative of all of you. And if you are watching this on Facebook or Twitter, we would love for you to switch over to YouTube and start watching there. Kareem the Dream had my appointment at Boise Dentistry Co. today. BJ, great recommendation. Dr. Meinert is amazing. So, always appreciate Dr. Meinert and the staff there at Boise Dentistry Co. So happy that you made the switch, Kareem. And that's great. So there's some folks asking about Emmanuel Ugbo. There was some issue with the admissions process. Don't know where that stands. He was actually at the fall scrimmage. I believe he is in Boise. Just haven't been able to get him eligible through the admissions process at Boise State. So he was likely to redshirt this year anyway, so it's not a huge loss this year. You would have liked to get him and going in practice and stuff, but when you see him in person, he is an absolute physical specimen. He is a very, very impressive looking young man, and he is built like a truck, and he's going to be a physical presence when he gets out there. I know they're very happy for that, but that hasn't happened yet, and it wasn't going to happen this season anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much, but they are hopeful they can get that admissions process worked out, hopefully get him in here to at least be practicing and things in the second semester, but they'll figure that out here as they move along. All right, Spencer Danielson came out with his family, spoke to the crowd at halftime. Don't know how great the audio is because the sound system, frankly, is not very good at ExtraMile Arena. Did the best I could getting down on the court to get you in there for this. So let's just hear it. It's about 3 minutes. And again, the sound system's not very great here, so we'll see what it sounds like. But this was halftime. Spencer Danielson, his wife, Rachel, I believe Eleanor, their daughter, was down there. We'll you'll hear and see her as well. But let's check out Spencer Danielson at halftime.
Introduction, but we're doing it anyway. He helped lead your football team to a Mountain West championship. And he is your new head football coach, the 12th coach in Boise State football history. Head coach, Spencer Danielson!
I'm gonna start crying, so just keep it up. I'm gonna start crying. Yo, Bronco Nation, from the bottom of our heart, thank you. Give it up for each other. Thank you, Bronco Nation. We did it together. Thank you. Thank you. And to our players, right over here, never flinched. Never flinched. Had every reason to and never flinched. Give it up for our players right here. And from my family to you guys, please always remember this. We're going to do this together. And the best is still to come. When we went down to Vegas, we met as a team. And we've been through a lot. These seniors, this 2023 senior group, work their tail off. One day at a time. Everybody doubted it. One day at a time. This group never doubted. And you guys never did either. Never did either. Thank you. Never doubted. Never doubted. And for you guys, we went down there, we talked as a team and said, guys, if we do what we're supposed to, we play fast, we play smart, we play together. We're going to go down there, and we're going to bring that back to Boise, Idaho. We did. Let's go. But if I'm up here any longer, I'm going to start crying from the bottom of my heart. My family, thank you. And I'm sure my daughter's ready to get out of here shortly. Thanks, sir. You done, Ellen? Yeah, let's give it up for Eleanor Danielson right now. But to Bronco Nation, I love you guys. We're in this together. The best is still to come. God bless you. We're going to do this together. Love you. Thank you.
Bronco Nation, one more time, your new head coach, Spencer Danielson!
Well, there he is, Spencer Danielson. And let's see. BNN knows me 1,000 BNN bucks. Oh, you mentioned the Spencer does have his the one thing he didn't say tonight was that the defense lived on the razor's edge. He's got a couple of his sayings that he likes to say. I know you guys are having fun with that, but that was good for Spencer Danielson. And you know what? Because we have 134 of you still on here, I was going to wait till tomorrow morning to play this interview. I will play it again tomorrow probably, but I had a chance one-on-one to talk to Spencer Danielson at halftime. And let's go ahead and play that now because I do appreciate all you guys that have stuck with us an hour and 1 minute into the show. And we have 135 of you still watching here. So super appreciative of all you guys that are supporting these shows and liking the video and subscribing. And I really appreciate you. So here's a late night treat for you. One-on-one with Spencer Danielson.
All right, Spencer Danielson, man. A crazy couple of days for you. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm thriving right now. You know, it's been awesome. There's obviously a lot of different stuff going on, but you know, our players, this community, I can't wait for the future.
What has the last 48 hours been like for you?
So it's been a lot, drinking out of a fire hose a little bit, but all good stuff. I mean, you go from press conference to meet with our players because that's the biggest thing for me right now is keeping our players here, keeping our staff here because we got a great group of players. We got a great staff, so that's what we've been working tirelessly to do.
We saw the news today with Ashton Jeanty. I know you kind of hinted at it at the press conference, but how huge is that for, first 48 hours, your head coach here to get a guy like that to stick around?
Oh, it's huge, BJ. I mean, at the end of the day, not only what Ashton does on the football field, everybody sees that. Phenomenal running back. He's a monster leader on our team, and he's a great teammate. I mean, you talk about a young man that comes to work every day, no matter what, practices his tail off. He deserves all the credit he's getting, so him being here to push this forward is a huge deal to us and can't wait for the future with him.
What does that say about the local community and the business owners and Joe Nickel and the collective and everybody for stepping up and make this happen?
When I say we're in this together, it takes everybody, especially for our young man like Ashton Jeanty and the rest of our players because that's the landscape of college football now, as we all know, BJ. So thank you, Bronco Nation. Thank you to our community because it took everybody to keep Ashton. It's going to take everybody to keep the rest of our players.
Tell us about the situation at quarterback going into the bowl game. Obviously, don't know if you're expecting if there's any chance Talon could still be a part of that, but two guys that don't have a ton of experience. What's the plan there and your confidence level in CJ and Colt?
Yeah. First off, think the world of Talon. Talk about a young man that just won us a championship, works his tail off, and we're still in constant communication. Had a great talk with him, his dad. So the process isn't over yet with Talon, but working into the bowl game, Colt Fulton, CJ Tiller, we're still working through what that's going to look like exactly for the bowl game. I know Coach Hammond and the offensive staff are working on that, and you'll see both quarterbacks in that game, and we're working through that right now.
You mentioned this being your dream job. We saw the press conference and stuff, but just has it kind of set in yet? Has it hit you? I mean, have you been able to kind of pinch yourself and realize the position you're in now?
It is my dream job, BJ. And like I said, I mean, it's for the people. It's the community, our players, our staff. That's why this is my dream job. So I don't know if it's completely sunk in. I cry almost every day when I have these conversations. I'm going to try not to cry right now, BJ. But hopefully it's something that never truly sinks in, right? Because this is my dream job, and I'll never lose that feel and how I tirelessly work to help push this forward. First off, it's not about me, and that's the biggest part when people know this isn't the Spencer Danielson Broncos. This is the Boise State Broncos that I'm going to be a part of to help push forward with our staff, our players, media, Bronco Nation. We're all in this together.
You think about your path, man. Linebacker, Azusa Pacific. You start your coaching career there. You come to Boise State as a GA. Like you said, your wife wasn't even sure she wanted to come with you at that point. And 7 years later, at age 35, one of the youngest head coaches in college football right now. I mean, like I said, how do you kind of describe your football journey here?
Man, BJ, I'm so humbled. And, thank you, Jesus. And I give him all the glory. And I'm the product of a lot of amazing people building into me. That's what it is. I'm also going to be a guy that's going to be tirelessly calling others that have done a great job in front of me, from head coaches to people that have been in this seat. And I'm going to tirelessly work to be the best version of myself. That's the same thing I'm calling our staff and our players to do. So I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing in general is just always constantly trying to get better and grow. And I'm going to work my tail off to be the best version for these players, the staff, this community.
Two more things for you. What you mentioned your vision for this program and just what you want to see here moving forward. What I know you got to focus on this bowl game first, but kind of your to-do list here for the next couple of months. What is your vision? What do you want to get done here, and what is your plans for this program?
Yeah, to-do list first off, BJ, like we said, is keep our players here. We had the 4th youngest team in the nation. Just won a Mountain West championship, brought it back to Boise. We need to keep our players here. That doesn't mean we're going to keep all of them. That's operation number one. Then keeping our staff here. Like, we got a great staff, and with a great staff, with winning championship comes job opportunities for these men, and they deserve them. But keeping them here, keeping our players here is operation number one. And then obviously as we come back in January, starting from scratch and looking at everything holistically, from schedules to practice, and then obviously getting our players back on the field, training. And when people watch Boise State football, like they've seen the past couple weeks, is you're going to see a group that plays fast, plays smart, plays together, and they love each other. It's going to look different. You're going to play your tail off because you love your brother next to you, you love your coaches, and more than importantly, you love this community. And that's not easy. That's not common. It takes a lot of work. And we're going to work our tails off to get it done.
Final thing quickly, they're giving me the wrap here. Just UCLA, the matchup, just what would a win next Saturday do for you guys to kind of propel you into the offseason here?
No, winning the last game of the season is a huge part of it. Our goal every year is to win the Mountain West Conference championship and a bowl game. We did one part of that, but we're not finished yet. And playing against a UCLA opponent that's going to be extremely well coached with Coach Kelly and his staff and a very talented roster. So we know our hands are going to be full. We're going to be working our tails off to get ready for it. Especially where the game is at, the LA Bowl. We recruit Southern California a ton. It's a place that we cannot wait to play, an opponent that we're very excited to play, and we know they're going to be ready for us.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Seriously, congrats, and looking forward to working with you. Continue to work with you, I guess, and excited, man. Congrats.
No, I appreciate you a ton, BJ, and Bronco Nation. Thank you again. Love you guys.
There he is, Spencer Danielson. We appreciate him for the one-on-one interview. Back in the media room at halftime of the game today. So appreciate him. And for the 140 of you that are still sticking with us, an hour and 7 minutes into the show, hope you enjoyed the interview there with Spencer Danielson. A little bit of newsworthy stuff on the quarterback situation that the process is still ongoing with Talon Green. Don't know what that means. He's getting contacted by Oregon State and BYU and Michigan State. And I don't know if, I don't know, to be honest with you, if money is the big thing for Talon Green. Sure. Does he want to get a step up in commitment, NIL wise? His buddy Ashton Genty, according to Mike Prater, is getting $300,000, a car and a place to live. Talon Green says, hey, I want some stuff too. But I think, Talon Green also just didn't, couldn't ignore what was happening, was lost his starting spot, was sharing time. And for him, you could say whether that was warranted or not, that's on you. But, if you're a Madsen guy or whatever, but you have your opinion on that. But if you're Talon Green, he wants to go where a spot where he's not going to probably have to share time with somebody. And so I think that, it's not just how much money does Talon Green want to stay. I think it is the opportunity to start and the opportunity to have a chance to get some significant playing time. And I don't know if he wants to be a part of another 2 QB system next year with Maddox Madsen, and who could blame him at this point? So I think that's what he wants to hear too, is what's the commitment level going to be to play him, not just from and then no one's going to guarantee him the spot. They're all going to say there's competition and all that, but I don't think he wants to, split time or potentially lose his starting spot. And we really don't know if it was Bush Hamden or if it was Andy Avalos pushing the 2 QB thing. So, we'll see.
Somebody's asking Kareem about Colt Fulton. I've heard that Colt Fulton knows the offense as good as Bush Hamden. Colt Fulton was a huge reason for Taylon Green's success in terms of helping him with the playbook, helping teach him things. Colt Fulton is a guy that is a left-handed quarterback. He's a walk-on. Everyone just assumes that C.J. Tiller is going to be the starter in the bowl game. And you could argue, to see what you have in C.J. Tiller for the future, that maybe you should play C.J. Tiller in the bowl game. But I think that Colt Fulton has quietly really been impressive as a walk-on. And, he's a guy that completed the 2-point conversion earlier this season, came in for one play when Taylon Green's helmet came off against Utah State. And my understanding is very smart, ton of time in the film room, ton of time working behind the scenes, and puts in a ton of effort, and is one of the smartest football players on the team, and can run the offense again, as good or better than anybody else in that room. So from a talent standpoint, we'll see. But again, he's a lefty walk-on that works really hard, third year in the program, smart kid, knows the offense. And if you want to win this game, he may give you a better chance to win. Again, not going to have to throw 20 passes, probably, whoever it is. Just you're going to hand the ball off to Taylon Green or to Ashton Genty and George Chelani pretty much every play. But you'll need him to make some key throws. You have to throw at some point when it's 3rd and long or whatever. So we'll see. Bush Hamden said on the radio today on KTIK that they're probably going to just play one guy. And then you heard there Spencer Danielson say they're going to play 2. So we'll find out. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are, obviously going to the Kellen Moore comparisons here. Have they had a left-handed quarterback play in a game since Kellen Moore left? I feel like there was a walk-on a couple years ago, or a guy a couple years ago that maybe got in a game or two. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember who it would have been. But has there been a lefty get in a game at some point since Kellen Moore at Boise State? There has to be at some point, right? But we'll see if they do both get in the game, because, again, Bush said on the radio that it wasn't happening, and then Spencer just said both would play. So we'll see. Someone's saying Sears. No, Sears was a righty. So we'll see, but appreciate Spencer. Again, most of the coaches going out recruiting this week, and then they'll reconvene this weekend and practice. And Jack Sears and Nick Patty. No, Nick Patty was a righty as well. Nick Patty was a righty. Jack Sears was a righty as well. So 2 QB system had to be Andy's. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I don't know that's what it's. I don't think Taylon Green just wants to hear things about money. He wants to hear about what kind of opportunity am I going to have to play next year, and who could blame him for the way they kind of treated him. And some of the time where they had him start the one game for one play and then bring in the other guy. I mean, there was just some weird stuff going on this year, and who could blame him if he wants to go somewhere else? But you know what? He sees Genty come back. They're close. Maybe he takes an upgrade in cash and goes to run this back too. But I think they need an answer from him by Friday. I believe Friday is their first practice for the bowl game. So I think if you want to have him play in this bowl game, you need to have this thing figured out in the next couple of days so you can have him be available for practice for the bowl game on Friday. No, Jalen Henderson was a righty as well. Montel Cozart was a righty. I thought there was a walk-on that came in. I feel like he transferred to like a lower level school, UC Davis or something. I feel like there was a guy. Oh man, I can't remember who it was. I have to look into this. But either way, yeah, there is some Kellen Moore comparisons there. Smart kid, lefty, and he's like 6'4". I think he's a big kid too. So we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be some media availability this weekend as well. Maybe they'll let us watch some practice, and we'll see what the QB situation looks like. But Cade Finnegan, no, I think he was a righty as well. San Diego, Spencer Danielson, loved by the fan base. BNN is killing it, and Avalos' dad down bad right now. That's funny. Andy Peters is who I was thinking of maybe, but I believe he's right-handed as well, and he's out there at C of I killing it right now. So I can't remember who it was. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, he'll be one of the first quarterbacks, lefty, maybe the first since Kellen Moore. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Okay, so it is 11:17 p.m. here in Boise. We've been on the air for an hour and 13 minutes. And to blame BNN, you have to fight all of us. Yeah. I think we were as positive or more positive than anybody when it comes to Andy Avalos. We were very positive towards Andy. I said all along I thought he'd be back next year, and I thought he should be back. And so whatever they were insinuating there with his dad. I don't know, and I'm sorry that they feel that way. But we were very positive, and afterwards, sure, there was some stuff that came out about Lou Major and whatever, but it was all facts, and I reported the facts. So it is what it is. I'm moving on from that situation. I've reached out to Andy Avalos twice to try to offer him the opportunity to do an interview and to come on the show, but I have not heard back. And based on the comments from the dad, they must have some issues with BNN, so I probably won't be hearing back. But it is what it is. And as Kareem the Dream says, shout out Lou Major. So, but as I was saying, it's 11:18, and I still have to write a story, and I still have a 25-minute drive back to Meridian, and then we have to be up early to be at the Stein Distributing. The Cutwater Spirits studios are going to be at Stein Distributing at the Cutwater Spirits area tomorrow for our 9 a.m. show, and I've got to be there in about 8 hours to start setting up. So we're going to have a quick turnaround tonight. Been a crazy couple of days. Being in Las Vegas, took my family to the Blues game last night, predicted the score would be 2-1. The final score was 2-1. So came back with some extra money in the wallet. That was nice, but came pretty much straight to cover the game today after getting back at the airport. And then now we're going to have a quick turnaround to the show tomorrow. But make sure you join us for tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News Live. John Mallory and myself will be talking Ashton Genty, talking the football game, and then we'll be talking basketball as well. So the kids are off this week. No football practice. No football practice. No, they are not practicing this week. That's pretty typical that you don't practice kind of that week right after the championship. The coaches are out recruiting. Players are not practicing. They get to get in the training room, get some weights in, kind of get some of the bumps and bruises out and try to heal up a little bit. And then they will practice a few times this weekend and then get into the full game week mode right away next week. So this is basically just a bye week here as they get ready for next weekend and the LA Bowl against UCLA. So appreciate all you guys for sticking it out. Coach Rice is still here as well. So we appreciate everybody for hanging out. And there's Coach Rice there. Just looked like he's watching some film or walking out. Who knows? So appreciate all you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. And again, we'll talk to you at 9 a.m. from the Cutwater Studios tomorrow, 9 a.m. Coach Rice giving us the head nod over there. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Great show. Thank you so much. And again, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Hope you'll join John Mallory and myself live on location from the Cutwater Studios. So again, hour and 16-minute post-game show and still over 100 people watching you. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll tell your friends. Hopefully if you're not a subscriber, $50. We'd love to have you. BNN 50 deal gets you a full year subscription for $50 to BNN. BroncoNationNews.com. Just sign up, $50. BNN, and that enters you in the contest to try to win the private jet trip for two to San Diego for the final regular season basketball game. Conference title could be on the line. San Diego, sellout crowd, and you could be there on the private jet, courtesy of our sponsors, Ridley's Family Markets, Cutwater Spirits, Matt Bauscher Real Estate, and, of course, the Blue and Orange Store. So thank you guys all for the kind words. Thank you so much for watching the show. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that like button. Help us get showing up in the algorithm a little higher. And then again, if you can, $50 for a full year of coverage. Help with our travel costs. Obviously, the bowl game coming up. That's going to be an expensive trip to spend a week in LA. We'll have live shows all week. We got a lot of cool content we're working on for the bowl game. So hopefully you will subscribe and help us out. $50 using the promo code BNN50 deal at the bottom of your screen there. So have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for the kind words. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow from Cutwater Spirits Studios on location at Stein Distributing. John Mallory and myself at 9 a.m. Still got a story to write. Make sure you read that at BroncoNationNews.com later tonight, early in the morning. And we'll talk to you here in about 9.5 hours. 9.5 hours. We'll be back live again. That's crazy to think about. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Talk to you in a couple hours. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.